With each step forward, cracks appeared in the seemingly endless plain. Soon the path split into two, forcing the brother and sister to make a decision. To the left was a fork in the road where one route was littered with spikes and the other led to a dead end, marked with a sign that read, "Road closed." To the right was a drawbridge over a bottomless pit. Small sign beside it stated, "Do not cross if you don't believe you can." The drawbridge swayed ominously in the wind. The brother and sister looked left, then right, unable to decide which path would lead them closer to their goal. It had been a long journey so far, and they were starting to feel the effects of exhaustion. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to crack and shake. With a loud, terrifying roar, a spiked ball rose out of the ground and hurtled toward them. The brother and sister jumped out of the way just in time to avoid being skewered. They looked back at the path in disbelief as another spiked ball shot toward them. Quickly realizing there was no escape, they closed their eyes and braced for impact. But the blow never came. Confused, they opened their eyes to see the spiked ball hovering inches from their face. Cautiously, they reached out and pushed it away. Startled, the brother and sister stumbled backward, knocking a lever into the hole with their heel. As the spiked ball disappeared, the cracked ground beneath the lever split open, revealing a staircase leading down into darkness. Before the brother and sister could react, the ground behind them crumbled away, sending them tumbling down the stairs and into the unknown. As their vision cleared, the brother and sister realized they had landed in a dark, narrow corridor. Ahead of them, a single dim lantern cast eerie shadows on the walls. As they approached, its flickering glow revealed a pair of doors, each adorned with a strange symbol. Engraved above one door were the words "Good Thoughts," while the other read "True Self." The brother and sister hesitated, unsure which path to choose. Suddenly the doors began to move, opening slowly to reveal what lay beyond. One showed a peaceful garden bathed in sunlight, while the other depicted a swirling vortex of darkness. A deep voice echoed through the room saying, "Choose wisely, for your decision will shape your destiny." Just then, the door slammed shut, plunging the room back into darkness. The voice continued, "You may choose to ignore this challenge, but beware the consequences." The doors began to shake violently, threatening to break from their hinges. The brother and sister felt an overwhelming urge to flee, but knew they couldn't outrun whatever awaited them. Taking a deep breath, they decided to face their fear head-on and step toward the door marked "True Self." As the brother and sister stepped through the doorway, they found themselves in a vast wasteland. The sky was filled with swirling purple clouds, and the air crackled with an unsettling energy. In the distance, they saw a towering figure made of pure white marble. As they got closer, the figure began to glow, revealing itself to be a giant sphinx. Its eyes, sharp as obsidian, seemed to pierce through the character, reading their very soul. The sphinx spoke in a voice that boomed like thunder. "Welcome, traveler. To reach the oasis and continue your journey, you must first prove yourself worthy." The brother and sister nodded, determined to succeed. The sphinx motioned with its head toward a path that stretched into the swirling mists ahead. That path is fraught with challenges, each designed to test your deepest fears and doubts. Will you walk that path and confront your inner demons? The brother and sister hesitated, torn between their desire to reach the oasis and the fear of facing their inner turmoil. Then, as if sensing their apprehension, the sphinx spoke again, its voice softer now. "There is no shame in choosing not to walk that path. But know this, the oasis offers peace and clarity, a chance to heal and regroup. The choice is yours." The brother and sister pondered the sphinx's words, weighing the risks and rewards of each path. After a moment of contemplation, they decided to press on. "Lead the way, O wise one. I am ready to face my fears and emerge stronger on the other side." The sphinx regarded the brother for a moment, then inclined its head, gesturing toward the path with a swipe of its paw. "So be it. May your journey be swift and enlightening. Remember, you are the master of your own destiny." And with that, the sphinx turned and vanished into the swirling mists, leaving the brother and sister alone on the perilous path. Taking a deep breath, the brother and sister began their trek into the swirling mists. As they ventured deeper into the wasteland, the mists took on a life of their own, forming grotesque shapes that seemed to mock their every step. Every sense-shattering screech and ghostly wail echoed around them, amplifying their growing dread. The brother and sister pressed on, their determination wavering with each unsettling sound. Suddenly the mists parted, revealing a small cottage nestled amidst the barren landscape. Smoke rose from its chimney, and a warm, inviting glow emanated from its windows. The sight brought back memories of home, of hearth and family. Hope surged through the sister, and they quickened their pace, eager to find solace within its walls. But as they neared the cottage, the pleasant sounds of laughter and singing replaced the eerie silence, drawing the brother and sister closer. Then from inside the house, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, jolting them to a halt. Fear warred with curiosity, making it difficult to decide whether to approach the cottage or flee back into the safety of the wasteland. Just then, a figure emerged from the cottage, their face obscured by a hooded cloak. They beckoned to the brother and the sister, torn between fear and the promise of sanctuary, found themselves taking a step forward. However, as they did, the figure disappeared back into the cottage, leaving the sister alone once again on the desolate path. Moments later, a new sound broke the silence. Footsteps, heavy and deliberate, echoed from within the cottage. The brother watched as the front door creaked open and a shadowy figure stepped out. Their eyes glowing an eerie red in the dim light, fixed on the brother, and a cruel smile spread across their face. "So, you've come to join the party," they said in a voice that dripped with malice. "But I'm afraid we're all out of welcoming gifts." As the menacing figure advanced, the brother instinctively took a step back, their heart pounding in their chest. They tried to speak, to explain their presence, but no words came out. All they could do was stare in terror as the figure approached. Suddenly, the figure lunged, and with a deafening roar, transformed into a monstrous creature with razor-sharp teeth and claws. The brother and sister stumbled back, tripping over a hidden root and falling to the ground. They looked up at the creature, paralyzed with fear as it loomed over them, ready to strike. Taking advantage of the brother and sister's stunned state, the monster prepared for the killing blow. Just then, a surge of adrenaline coursed through the brother, propelling them forward. With newfound strength, they pushed the monster off balance, creating a small gap between them. In that instant, the brother remembered the words of the Sphinx, "You are the master of your own destiny." Realizing the power to defeat the monster lay within them all along, the brother stood up and faced their attacker, ready to fight back. The battle that followed was fierce and brutal, but slowly the brother began to gain the upper hand. With each strike they landed, their confidence grew, and the monster's attacks became more desperate. Finally, with a last surge of strength, the brother delivered a final blow, vanquishing the monster and ending the threat. Victorious but weary, the brother surveyed the scene. As the adrenaline began to fade, they felt a profound sense of accomplishment and self-belief. The experience had been terrifying, but it had also been a powerful reminder of their inner strength. Now, with renewed determination, they turned their gaze back to the path ahead, ready to face whatever challenges lay in wait. As the mists cleared, the brother and sister found themselves standing before a magnificent oasis. Lush greenery contrasted the desolate landscape they had just traversed, and the sound of flowing water filled the air. Palm trees swayed gently in the breeze, offering shade to weary travelers. The sight was so unexpected and beautiful that the brother and sister couldn't help but stand in awe. But their moment of wonder was short-lived. A sense of foreboding washed over them as they realized they weren't alone. Emerging from behind a cluster of palm trees was a tall, regal woman with piercing blue eyes and flowing golden hair. Her presence commanded respect, and her gaze seemed to see right through both the boy and girl. "Welcome, traveler," she said, her voice echoing with power. "This oasis is a place of peace and tranquility, but to stay here, you must prove that you deserve it." The brother and sister hesitated, unsure how to respond. They had faced many challenges on their journey, but this test of worthiness felt different, more profound. The woman continued, "Show me your heart, traveler, and let me see if you have what it takes to find true peace." The both understood. This wasn't just a test of strength or courage, but a test of character, of the kind of person they truly were. Taking a deep breath, they knew that to earn the oasis's peace, they must be honest with themselves and show the woman their true selves. As they looked into her piercing blue eyes, they began their tale, sharing their struggles, fears, and aspirations. And as they spoke, they felt a weight lifting from their shoulders. With each word, they felt closer to the peace the oasis offered. When they finished, the woman was silent for a moment. Then a gentle smile touched her lips. "You have shown great strength and wisdom on your journey, traveler. You've earned the oasis inner stare." And with that, the oasis welcomed the brother and sister, offering them a moment of respite before the final leg of their journey. Here, surrounded by beauty and serenity, the brother and sister had a chance to heal and prepare for whatever lay ahead. For they knew that true strength came not just from conquering challenges, but from embracing the journey, including its moments of reflection and renewal.